This girl, she went to college and she didn't contact her parents for such a long time. And then she felt really bad about not contacting her parents, so she decided to write a letter to her parents to kind of explain the reason why she's not been in touch with her parents for such a long time. And this is what she wrote. Dear Mum and Dad, since I left for college, I've been remiss in writing, and I'm sorry for my thoughtlessness in not having written before. I will bring you up to date, but before I do, can you please sit down? It's very important that you sit down before you read on. I'm getting along pretty well now. The skull fracture and the concussion that I got when I jumped out of my dormitory window when it caught on fire shortly after my arrival. It has pretty well healed. I only get those sick headaches a couple of times a day. Fortunately, an attendant at the gas station witnessed the fire in my dormitory and the jump. He ran over, took me to hospital, and continued to visit me there. When I got out of the hospital, I had nowhere to live because of the burnt-out conditions of my room, so he was kind enough to invite me to share his basement bedroom apartment with him. It's sort of small, but very cute. He is a very fine boy, and we have fallen deeply in love. And we are planning to get married. We haven't set the exact date yet, but it will be before my pregnancy begins to show. Yes, Mum and Dad, I'm pregnant. I know how much you are looking forward to being grandparents, and I know you will welcome the baby and give it the same tender care and devotion that you gave me when I was a child. Now, the reason for the delay in our marriage is that my boyfriend has an infection, which I carelessly caught from him. I know, however, that you will welcome him into our family with open arms. He is very kind, and although not well educated, he is ambitious. Although he is of a different race and religion than ours, I know that your often expressed tolerance will not permit you to be bothered by that. In conclusion, now that I have brought you up to date, I want to tell you, there was no dormitory fire. I did not have concussion or skull fracture. I was not in the hospital, and I am not pregnant. I do not have an infection, and there is no boyfriend in my life. However, I have failed all my exams. However, I have failed all my exams, and I wanted you to see these results in their proper perspective. Now, you see, perspective is very, very important, because if she had written, Dear Mum and Dad, I'm sorry I've not been in touch, I've failed all my exams. You can imagine the parents, you failed your exam. What do you mean you failed your exams? You know, we're supporting you, we're financing you, you failed your exam. But when you read all of this, and then she says she failed her exams, you're like so happy. She only failed her exams. Perspective is very, very important.